What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing the seminars that I attended during the Airliners International 2024 convention in Kansas City. So this is a video that I've been looking forward to doing, as I'm going to be talking about the seminars that I attended during the Airliners International 2024 convention in Kansas City. This is my first time attending seminars for the convention, and I really liked how they all turned out. So we're going to go ahead and assess them with a couple pictures I took and just my recap on it based on my best recollection on my memory, because it has been a couple of weeks now since the show, so I've kind of forgotten a few things. And I was hoping that the World Airline Historical Society that they would have videos on the seminars here, but unfortunately, when I last checked, they did not have them up, and I can go ahead and take another look real quick as I record this video. It's Monday, July 8th, but this video is going to go out much later here. They are still not out, but if they are out, excuse me, by the time this video comes out, I will link them in the description, the ones that I attended and also their channel if you want to see any of the other ones that I didn't attend during the convention. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the first seminar that I attended, and as the first one on the schedule, Tom Livesey with his seminar on the Jumbo's Double Nickel, the 747 turns 55. Now, this is the only picture that I took of this seminar because we were told not to record any videos, but I think we could get pictures of them, so I snapped a couple just for some scenery as I talk about the seminar. So basically what Tom talked about here was just the history of the 747, its development, and how it coincided with the development of other projects, including the 707, the 727, the 737, and also the SST program that they were going through, which became the Boeing 2707, but because of various factors with the economy and just the general doubt of supersonic transport becoming the next generation of air travel, that program completely fell apart. And I think that was part of why the 747 became Boeing's main priority during the 70s, when they were fully developing it, and eventually when it entered service, and they developed several successful variants following that. So it's a really great story just talking about the overall success of the 747 as it had evolved over the years, and it talked about each of the variants and some of the notable carriers that operated it. Really good presentation on it, and showed plenty of good pictures of the 747 over the years. So I enjoyed this raffle. It was a good way to kick off the convention on Thursday. This was at 10 a.m. on Thursday morning. If I go ahead and slide over here, the next seminar I attended, this is the one that I had marked for sure that I was going to hit up, and this is Todd Models with Gemini Jets from Conception to Flight. So as you can see there in the background, he had a nice little display set up. I had a Gemini 200 Delta MD-11 in the widget livery present there, which looked really nice. He also had a TWA 747 SP in 1:400 scale that my good buddy Connor got gifted by Todd because he actually helped out with the seminar. Sort of helped explain various topics and also asked a couple of questions as well. So this is basically just talking about the operations of Gemini Jets and how it all worked, and answering many collectors' questions, a lot of burning questions especially. There's a really good point in the seminar where Todd was talking about quality control and some of the issues that they were having, because back in 2019, 2020, that's when Gemini hit sort of a low point in terms of the quality of the models and the frequent reports of models coming in broken and other general issues that were happening with the models at the time. And mainly that was because they couldn't go to the factory in China, especially during COVID, because, well, for obvious reasons. So they weren't able to really assess the quality of the models as much as they were used to. So that resulted in a lot of slip-ups occurring with the models, and of course there's a lot of angry collectors, and I was in that crowd as well. A lot of, not necessarily hatred, but I guess that's unfortunately probably the right word for it from the time. It was just, I didn't really like Gemini back then, but thankfully, as they have improved on the quality of their models, my reception towards them has been a little more positive in recent years. So I'm really glad that they turned the corner. It was 2021, 2022 when they started to turn that corner and start to go uphill, and thankfully they've been on that trend ever since. So overall, it was a really fantastic seminar, and towards the end of it as well, he asked everyone that was in the room about how many Gemini Jets do you have, and raise your hand if you have 100, 200, or 300. And when we hit 300, he was very generous enough to gift us Gemini Jet shirts and caps. So I took one of each, And now I've got 2 Gemini Jets shirts because I got one last Christmas as a gift from my parents. Thank you so much to them for that. And then also thank you, Todd, for the extra Gemini Jets shirt and the cap that I got as well. Connor got one as well. If you've seen a couple of the videos already, you'll have seen him wearing that cap. Mainly in the day 1 vlog, and I think the airport update video that I did as well of Slimmerville, which was a phenomenal time that we had there. But go check out that video if you want to see more information on that. But overall, the seminar with Todd was excellent, provided a lot of good insight about Gemini Jets and how they run and how they decide on like what releases are done. That was another good question that was asked. And from what Todd said, it really comes down to Elliot, who's the president of Gemini Jets. He sort of has the final say on what gets released, so that's why you see a lot of like North American stuff or, you know, occasional retro planes coming in, because I think Elliot does have quite the soft spot for retro aviation from like the 80s and, you know, other eras as well. And I did suggest to Todd a couple of like Republic MD-80s, and he did tell me that there may not be as much interest from Elliot about it, but we'll see. But anything is possible, so I'm not losing hope on those being done, because I would like to see that kind of stuff be made, since it hasn't been done in 400 scales. So Republic MD-80 with the first livery that they had, the Herman livery, and then also the Mary Tyler Moore, which was their later paint scheme. So I suggested those, but otherwise all the others that I provided to him, which I can't remember exactly which ones I provided, he did seem like that there would be a good chance that they could be done at some point, so we'll see what happens. I also did ask when the next release would be, and he did give that information. July 3rd is what it was, and that was a great release, by the way. I have pre-ordered the 2 Mad Dogs, the Delta MD-88 and the Reno Air MD-90, so I pre-ordered those, and I'm really looking forward to those arriving into my collection. Probably around early August, I think, is when they're going to come in. So overall, the Todd Model Seminar was fantastic, probably the best one. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention as well, they had door prize raffles, and these were basically just coupons that you could use at any Gemini Jets vendor table. They were like $5 off any 1 to 400 model, or $10 off any 1 to 200 model. I ended up getting 3 of them since I asked, you know, a good handful of questions, and Connor was kind enough to hand them out to the audience members who were asking questions and engaging with the seminar. So that's enough of the Todd Model Seminar. It was a fantastic one, and I hope that he does return for next year with a similar topic. So now move on into Friday's schedule. This is Mastering the Art of Travel Promotions by Joe Crawford. So he basically talked about his history as a frequent flyer and how he got started. And one of the cool things that he did talk about was there was a really cool promotion. This is not it here, but they had a really cool promotion where if you have parents that fly on TWA, and if you're a kid, you can fly on them for free. And that seemed like an excellent promotion, and that's how Joe got into flying as much as he did. So he showed us some really cool stuff, and I got some good pictures of it. So this is basically like a, gosh, I'm trying to remember what this is, but this is like a possible routing that you could take, because obviously you can do a nonstop flight between 2 cities, but you can also connect through, I think it's up to about 3 or 4 or 5 cities. And you can see here, this is one of the routings on American Airlines. So you can go from West Palm Beach to Miami, over to Nashville, and then to Chicago, and then to Indianapolis. Domestic routing guide, this is like AG number 73. I'm trying to remember what these were called, but it's not reaching the top of my head right now. But hopefully the seminar video's out and you can go check that out, and he'll explain that a little more in depth. And this is another one that was provided as well, I think, or no, I think it's just the same picture. And then right here, these are some of the Advantage cards that he got. The first one there up on the top left, I think he got it when he was 12, which was just incredible. Then he got the Advantage Gold one there on the top right, then Advantage Platinum, and then the Advantage Executive Platinum. So he's flown about 4 million miles with American Airlines, and that's just on American. He's flown millions more miles on other carriers, and I estimate it's between like 15 or 20, maybe 25 million miles that he's flown total across all the airlines that he's flown with and all the airlines that he's flown for. So he has quite a lot of miles under his belt. And then this is the 1 million mile plaque here, or the little certificate that he got when he reached flying for 1 million miles with American Airlines. This was on sometime in 1994 he reached it, and they had a private reception for him at the C.R. Smith Museum, which I did go to last year for Airliners International when that was in Dallas. And semi-formal attire requested. You note that there on the bottom. So this is like, you know, a very formal event, or semi-formal event, as noted there. And there's a picture of him with the CEO at the time. I'm forgetting his name right now, but I'll have to take a look real quick. But he was with the CEO of American Airlines, was present at that event, which I thought was just phenomenal. If I'm trying to look here, if I can find the name, it's not reaching me right now. Man, I can't find it right now. But if I do find it during editing, I'll pop it up on the screen. But the CEO's there on the right, and then Joe's on the left, and that's the little plaque that he got there in the middle. And then moving on, these are the top 10 favorite routes that he did. The first one here is Indy to St. Louis, and you'll note here that there's a really unique routing. So they actually fly from Chicago to Des Moines to Omaha to Dallas and then to St. Louis. That ended up being about $98 or about 10,000 miles. And then there's a couple extra routings that he did. I think on the way back he went through New Orleans, did a really unique routing there. And that's kind of the mojo that he did. This is the next one that he did. This is from Hartford, Connecticut, Windsor Locks to his home at Mayagüez in Puerto Rico. So you fly over to San Juan from Miami, and go through Atlanta, Nashville, Chicago, New York. So there's a lot of really cool routes. And then this is the next one he did not a flight, but this is Sheraton Club. They had a really cool promotion there. And then this is the next routing he did from Orlando to Mobile, Alabama. Obviously not direct. Miami, Raleigh, Durham, Nashville, Chicago, Des Moines, Oklahoma City, Dallas. So again, there's another really unique routing. Portsmouth, New Hampshire to Boston, and obviously not direct. Go through Portland, Maine, Manchester, New Hampshire, and New York. And then the next one, Boston to London Gatwick, fly through Chicago and Dallas, about 36,000 miles, or about $359 round trip. San Diego to Los Angeles up next. You actually fly through Milwaukee on Midwest Express, which is pretty interesting. Then they have the Star Alliance Fly 5 promotion, which I think was if you fly on all the Star Alliance carriers, you get X amount of bonus miles. I think he did do one of them, and it was with SK. I think that was Scandinavian. 2 free coach tickets anywhere in the world on all 5 Star Alliance carriers, which was an incredible promotion they had. So those are a couple the routes that he did to fulfill that promotion. And then the second one that he liked was Chart House, which is a seafood restaurant chain across the coastal areas of the United States. And basically with this one is if he went to all of the Chart House locations, he would get some really cool benefits. And then this is the number 1 promotion that he ever did, which was the first one, the one with wherever TWA flies in the USA, kids fly free. And then there's his boarding passes there on the left, and then that's the routing. New York to Miami on October 27th, 1981, so 43 years ago, which is just ridiculous to think about. It's incredible. So he's enjoyed flying for sure, and I look forward to looking back on his seminar when the World Airline Historical Society has those videos out. So now we reach a bit of a gap here in the seminars that I attended, because I was originally planning to attend the Aircraft Dispatchers one at 4 p.m., but there were some conflicts with the ballroom and other things going on, and of course the barbecue, so I did not attend that one. Oh yeah, there's a couple more pictures here. So that's Joe. He flew for Hawaiian Airlines on the A321neo. I think he still flies for them. Also done the A330 and I think the 767, and has had a lot of fun. So this is a quote here that he had. "Traveling is the art of regulating imagination. Instead of thinking of how things may be, it is to see them in reality as they truly are." So very inspiring quote that he included at the end of his seminar. So as I said, I was going to hit the one on 4 p.m. on Friday about aircraft dispatchers, but conflicts occurred, so I did not get to go to that one. I only went to one seminar on Saturday, and not the one that I originally planned to hit up. It was the Charles Kennedy one at 11:30, flying solo to Sudan. So this talked about Charles's experience when he flew from London to Khartoum, I think is how you say it, about 3,500 miles on a solo day VFR flight, January 2023. And he flew through France, Italy, Slovenia, Greece, and Egypt. This is the only picture that I got of it, and I thought this was really fascinating just to hear, how far he traveled. And I think he did talk about a time during this whole trip where he couldn't land at a particular airport, even if he declared an emergency, because I think it was a military base or something like that. So even if he did declare an emergency, he would have not been able to land there and would have to instead go to another island nearby. So I thought that was a really nice seminar as well, and overall just a fantastic way to cap off the seminars that I attended during Airliners International. And the one that I was going to hit up was Dan Gold's band with his behind the scenes at Pacific Southwest, but that didn't work out since we had other conflicts in the ballroom again. But the ones that I did attend, I thought they were phenomenal and a great way to provide some new insight to me in the field of aviation, and from those that have been in this field for many, many years, and also from those that are in the hobby that have been around for many years as well, like the one with Todd Models on his Gemini Jet seminar. So I highly recommend going to these seminars for Airliners International 2025 in Atlanta. That'll be June 25th through 28th at the Delta Flight Museum. Obviously, no details on seminars just yet. That probably won't come out until probably next spring. So I'll be keeping a very close eye, and when they have seminar information come out, I'm guessing probably around like May or June of 25. So I know that's pretty late. I'll have to wait a while. I'm sure we'll hear of some ideas of possible seminars that will come up here a little later on as we move through the winter and into the spring of 25. So that does it for this video on my seminar review for Airliners International. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.